So before I read this, I've already read this. I recorded 2 videos and didn't realize that my display capture was off. So all you guys would have seen was my reactions and no gameplay whatsoever. So I had to go back through. Thank God it wasn't too far, and I had to play back up to this point. I might have missed a little bit between like retracing what I had done and showing you guys where I had progressed to. I'm pretty sure I didn't really miss anything. Like, I started up the recording as soon as I clicked on the bed and he went and laid down. So hopefully didn't miss much there. There's not a whole hell of a lot more that I did. Like, I didn't really go into the nitty gritty that I could have. So you might see the retrace of some things. Again, you might not, but I'd rather redo things and you see them twice than for you to not see it at all. So we have this picking up from when we first got to the cottage the first night. So night 1, first impressions. The cottage is a dump, really depressing, filthy derelict, but beggars can't be choosers, and the place does have, well, it's hard to explain. I think it may be haunted. Alright, I need to track down the girl from the train, learn what I can from her wallet. She's got a return ticket. Explore the town after nightfall, learn more about the legend of the 3 Anglo-Saxon crowns of Anglia. What is the lost crown? I'm gonna go with it might be a wee bit self-explanatory. It might literally be just a lost crown. So do that, dig out some information on Harbor Cottage. There must be a story or two. Previous episode found the pamphlet for the cottage when they had done an auction for it, and you found the first owner who privately owned the cottage. You found his diary for 1952. So we just have to figure out how to make the rest of the pages show up. Who was that old lady on the beach, and how did she know my name? Explain to Had and beg if need be. I need to get hair and curl off my back, because nobody likes bunnies or birds. Alright, so is there anything out there? I don't know, but we will find out. Okay. And I realized that watching back through some of the videos and stuff like that, because I typically just check to see if things are working and you guys can hear the game and you guys can hear me briefly. I realized that you guys can't really hear me over the sound effects of the gameplay, so I have adjusted the gameplay sound to a little bit so that my voice carries a little bit more so you can hear what I'm saying, because I realized that at some points that I don't really talk very loud, which is really funny considering the fact that I'm really loud in life. So when I do talk, typically I like late at night or whatever else like that. What is that?
Has someone been here?
Well, it's clean, so obviously. Alright. Husband might be coming home here soon, so if you see a man walk in, that's him. He's the good looking one. Sorry. Alright, so here's a letter. We just got a letter. We just got a letter. Alright. Mr. Danvers, I am deeply sorry about the state of the cottage. It's so neglected, no one has stayed for a while, it's practically forgotten. My brother bought the place in an auction back in the 80s with plans to turn it into something special, but after buying the place, well, he kind of fell out with it. He had a bad accident on the stairs. Well, that's not ominous. I have had a bit of a cleanup and lit some candles. There's no electricity to the main rooms. Rats have made meals of the cabling long ago. As for the kitchen, it's useless. I've had a word with Uncle Slaughter. I'm gonna say Slaughter. I might be wrong. If it's a T instead of an L, drop a comment. Let me know that I'm wrong. If not, that's a really creepy name. like Jason Voorhees creepy, like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, like right up there. Who owns the Lighthouse Cafe, and he says you can dine there for free. I'm also refunding half the tariff, which you can settle up later in the week. It's a long time since anyone has stayed in this old cottage, so I wish you well. Morgan Mankle, landlady of the Bear. P.S. Give the local competition a go. Leaflet attached. But you've given me... Who's there? She gave me a leaflet. I might have picked this up in a previous video. I don't think I did for the ones that I uploaded. Yeah, I think this was the third video I had made. Alright, so it reads, photographic illustrations are from the collection of last year's winner and the year before that and the year before that and so forth. Young Oliver, often seen around Saxton, snapping away with his trusty camera. Images from top left are the old post box near Celtic Corner, previously the post office, the old cross at Ulcombe, pine trees near Northfield, and wild garlic by the stream. Give me the back of that. Alright. Saxton Snappers, organized by Reyes Branwin. I might be saying his name wrong. I do apologize. To snap a photograph is to capture a moment in time, to distill a single millisecond onto paper, to keep forever. The trained and imaginative-minded can sense those moments and be ready, camera in hand, to catch lightning in a bottle. I don't know what you're telling me, dude. You can hear the sounds, right? Someone's trying to tell me something, but they need to speak up. You're mumbling. The change in Are you perhaps one of these photographic alchemists? If so, you should join Saxton Snappers and enter the town's famous competition. Grab your SLR or digital device and snap away to your heart's content. Come May Day, when she is bright and lovely, you should bring your entries to me at Celtic Corner or arrange for me to collect them from your home. The best entries will be displayed in the Bear's basement bar, where the winner is announced on May Day night. This is the worst text I've ever seen. The worst. Nothing in there? Nothing in there? Is this working? What?
Is there anybody there? Said the traveller, knocking on the moonlit door, and his horse in the silence champed the grasses of the forest's ferny floor, and a bird flew up out of the turret above the traveller's head, and he smote upon the door again a second time. Is there anybody there?
The wind is blowing and it's sounding like someone's knocking on my door. Because like where the house is like located, like we sit at like at an odd corner, so the wind blows through the housing, and like it's a vortex. It's wonderful. All right. Oh, you creepy. What's
Nothing
going?
ventured.
What? It still doesn't get any better. It's like the sucking sound. It's like, poof, and you're like, what? It's like the worst. Anything in there? That's a resounding no. I like how he turns like Tomo arigato, Mr. Roboto. Sorry, I can't be the only person that's played this game and hasn't thought of that. And has thought of that. Sorry, wrong adjective. Oh, I forget which is which. Sometimes I get them all mixed up. Lean with it, rock with it, lean with it, Mr. Robot. You got this, boo. I look still pretty in the mirror.
How did that get here?
That's a good question. I think Morgan Mankle's fucking with you. Now, I don't know what the fuck that sound is. I'm not about this life. Not about this life. You need to not. Yeah, I've already read this. My forehead itches. My skin's dry. Oh, it's more scary than this game. It's dry skin. Can I read more? Nope.
The other pages appear to be blank. That's very odd.
Ah, you don't say, Sherlock. Oh, this is weird. She cleaned up the broken plate, and I don't know who's there. You suck at knock-knock games.
There's something about this wall.
There's something about this wall.
Something not quite right.
Walking away from the creepy wall now. We're gonna walk at a relatively fast pace there. Gotta go with it. I'm gonna go. 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 Alright. Oh!
Who is that? Maybe I should follow him.
It's like an apparition.
I'll lose him if I don't pick up the trail.
Duh.
I must find out what he's up to.
Talk with him if you must.
Mr. Hardacre, you're a hard man to follow. I nearly lost you.
Not interested. I've brought you here for a reason, and one reason only. I want you to leave Saxton at your first convenience and never come back.
What? Now look here. You can't order people about. I'm no threat to you, like you pointed out. I know nothing about geology or archaeology.
That's not the half of it. There's mystery and danger involved. You know nothing about this town or the land around us.
So, is that a crime?
It takes skill, understanding, and a strong mind to find what's hidden out there in the fens. It's an old land which can be unforgiving to those who blunder in with their eyes closed and their chins wagging.
Danger? What danger?
It's as I thought. You know nothing yet.
Are you threatening me, Mr. Hardacre?
No, you fool. I'm trying to warn you. Take that cottage, Harbour Cottage, that you'll be staying in. Know much about it, do you?
You know I don't. It's a small place, a bit stuffy, but nice enough.
Listen out, tonight, as you're drifting into sleep. Listen for the sounds.
Sounds? What sounds? Are you saying the cottage is haunted?
You'll know soon enough. They always do.
Sounds like a bully. Like, he's like the guy that's like the old guy that like you'd seen like the movies or whatever else that come out, like Dennis the Menace, for example. Comes out and is like, "Get off my lawn," and he's like shaking something at him, usually a cane or something else. That's what he sounded like. That's what he reminds me of. Sorry, one of my cats like decided to
An old land?
grace me.
Some
with his
parts
presence.
of our land have seen great things. Others have seen murder, disease, and disaster. If you look close enough, you can see the signs. A landscape can seem empty and desolate when the sun sets low and the wind chills the blood. But the land is never empty. It echoes with the voices of those that have gone before, pagan warrior kings, great gods, and fearsome beasts. Keep your eyes and ears open, and you'll know soon enough.
What are the Fens?
An ancient world of murky waters and whispering reeds. They surround us on all sides, trapping us here, so to speak. Take a walk tomorrow morning, out across the shore, through the Fenland Eye. The Fens will be waiting, like those who dwell there. They are always waiting.
Where is the treasure?
Oh dear, oh dear. You didn't really think it would be that easy, did you? Things that are lost are waiting to be found. But what of those precious items that have been hidden, stashed away, for good reason? Should we go looking for treasures we are not supposed to find?
You are talking nonsense, Mr. Hardacre.
Nonsense, is it? Well, we shall see. Watch your back, Danvers. Not everyone in this town is as accommodating as myself. There are those who won't take too kindly to you digging up what should lay buried. That's enough questions, Danvers. If you insist on staying, think on what I have said. You're just a lad. Be careful what you go looking for. Good night.
Good night, Mr. Hardacre.
I've gotta be older than you, dude. Like, you're just a young lad. Like, I've got more facial hair than you do and wrinkles and stuff. But, like, I've either had a really tough life or I'm older than you are. I'm sorry. Cats are, like circling like vultures. But yeah, no, like, at one point, like, it's like a reporter in, like, interview. Like, okay, that's what she said, this is what I'm gonna say, and then that's what she said, like... And then he sounds like he had, like, phlegm in the back of his throat at one point. Oh, well then. They took the lobster, okay. And they took the... There's no poster there. Can we go this way?
I've no business walking the shore in the dark tonight.
But why not? YOLO.
What's this?
It's the uppity reporters thing. PDF, that's what it was called. Haha. One new message for Alex Spitmore. That's a god-awful name. Subject worries. Sent at... oh god, what, 4:05 today from contact and address book. It is becoming difficult to avoid you around town. I'm not sure how long I can keep up this charade. I am sure you will find the culprit, but please be careful. We know nothing about what this person is capable of. Watch your back. What are you, like Mr. Crow or Mr. Hare?
The Bear, next to the harbour.
That's like a faraway picture, though. Like the way that it looks compared to where you kind of get at in the game.
A church built onto the cliff tops, overlooking the sea.
That's a good place for a church. I'm not gonna burn you on the fire. I'm just gonna shove you off the cliff. Sorry. Oh, The Ballad of Tom Oliver by Philip of the Holloway. Young Tom was a brave lad at Birchen Farm Birchen Farm grew strong. He went and took up Cromwell's cause and fought both hard and long. With his friend Will, he took up arms and joined the Roundhead Band. They marched with hearts of fire for peace across the land. They fought the king with stout hearts in battles long and hard. For cavaliers they had no love, they slew them by the yard. But then old Cromwell lost his way, his thoughts becoming mired. His men were hungry, cold, and wet, unpaid, their bones were tired. I'm mumbling now. Jesus. Young Tom stood with head bowed and wounded in his heart. He packed his bags and off he went. With Cromwell he did part. To Saxton he did trace his steps with his best friend Will. He turned his thoughts to home again. More men they would not kill. A Roundhead troop upon them came when they were all but home. They harried them all through the day and deep into the gloom. Young Tom was wounded in the leg, his spirit nearly fled. Thou Dowerton Inn they hid that night. Will thought his friend near dead. Will gave up the hope of their escape. He thought they'd lost their way. Back to the troops he went forthwith, turned traitor on that day. He led them back to Dowerton Inn to clap poor Tom in chains, but in the cellar there was no trace of his body or remains. Though time passed, it says thought time passed. I'm pretty sure they mean so. And gone away, and timbers have grown rotten. Tim's cries of pain still fill a clear night, for he will not be forgotten. That's the it's like the worst italicized, like, cursive ever. Like, this text is god awful. I'll pet the cat on the game. I pet the cat in real life. I pet the cat on the game. What was that?
Strange. I thought I heard voices. That's unusual. The clock is stuck at 9 o'clock.
How is that unusual? Maybe the clock's just like broken, dude. Yeah, there's the flyers. Touch it, touch it.
I think I'll pass on a local delicacy.
What, you allergic to lobster, sir? Pound upon everything. He's a rude bitch. Oh, sorry. Trying to keep the swearing to a minimum. I curse way too much. It's bad. Like, horrible habits. Knock on that wood. Like, who the claw? Do it again. Ooh, the claw. That's like, that's pretty impressive. You make that sound in your hands like this. Scoop it. And just scoop it. Scoop knock. Bop. Bop.
An old painting or a copy of one.
Worst.
That's Harbour Cottage.
Is it? It's at a weird angle.
The Bear, next to the harbour.
Ah, it's like it's like looking at a photo that you took of yourself, and then it gets flipped, and you're like, and your brain's just like, what's going on? I feel like that right now. All right.
The creaky sign says, The Bear.
The bear. The bear. Who you be?
Hello up there.
Oh, good evening to you.
You pleasant?
What are you doing?
Fixing this here bunting to the buildings.
Why? Is there a celebration due?
Where you been hiding? There's May Day round the corner.
Saxton's a quiet town.
Oh, if you say so.
That's not ominous. Well, if you say so. Like, if you're sure, I mean, you haven't been here very long. Like, it's either like ominous or he's just super dry sarcastic. I cannot decide which.
Could you fix the electricity at Harbour Cottage?
Gone again, is it? Damn wiring.
Is that a no?
Hey, for now. Sorry, lad.
Oh, you're so kind. You're so kind.
I'll let you get on.
Maybe it'll come quicker that way.
Well, it'll come quicker that way if you leave me alone. See, there was...
Now to find a phone box. Phone Happy. Time to make amends.
So, see, there was one cat on the box. There's one cat in the end, but the cat's always there day or night. And then there's another cat up here on the roof. But you can't even be like, how'd the cat get up there? I mean, dogs get up on roofs and stuff like that, and like, not as often as cats, but like the owner's like. But yeah, so those two are. So there's 2 cats we found so far. And I'm only pointing it out because the posters that are around and stuff about like cat nappers. So. You walk so slow.
The building is closed.
What is up with that sound?
3 crowns. A link to the legend.
I mean, that's not surprising. It's an old town. Okay, so that's the 3rd cat outside. I can't pet you, but I won't pet you. Special cheap day tickets, London to Saxton. It's like the 2 choices you got. You either go back to London or you come back to Saxton. And you won't even get to Saxton all the way because it's flooded. Like, you gotta get off at Sedgemarsh, which is just an inviting name. Because someone looked at that and went, Can I help you?
You could be fined for that, you know.
Excuse me?
Pasting posters, fly posters. It's illegal, isn't it?
I have no idea. Is there something you want? Are you lost?
Actually, I have something of yours.
Oh, really? And what's that?
Your wallet. Here, take it.
Oh,
He's such a butthead.
thanks. I didn't mean to snap.
Sorry, gotta text my husband real quick.
So, what's the poster for?
Take a look.
Reuben's Fair. Huh. Oh dear. Are the freaks coming to town?
You could say that.
I'm Nigel, by the way. Nigel Danvers?
I'm Lucy. Lucy Rubens.
I see. Part of the fair?
Yep, I'm one of the freaks.
I didn't mean to offend you.
Too late.
It's like the worst apology ever, and her guy's like, no, it's too late for you. You've already offended me. Like,
I saw you.
great.
Out in the reed beds.
You mean the fens?
Fens. What's the origin?
It's Anglo-Saxon. For a swamp, or marsh, or bog. Quagmire, perhaps?
Same to you too.
Oh, a comedian.
You burn. Yeah.
So, are you local?
I was, but I only returned for the holidays.
You must know the surrounding area very well.
Not really. I tend to stay in town. I have my studies.
Ah, what are you studying?
Psychology.
Really? So what do you make of me?
You are desperate, insecure, and seeking phantom treasures.
How did you know that? Ah, pretty obvious, is it?
Uh-huh.
I'll leave you to, paste your posters.
See you around, sunshine.
No, there's nobody there. There's like you can hear the clicking on the keyboard. What the hell? What is this? We will do that and this. And I apologize for the interruption. But I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.